M. Gopal Krishna Adiga, originally in Kannada. It has been translated into English by A.K. Ramanujan. The poem satirizes the tendency of modern man to be up and doing without, means doing something or the other, any destructive thing without any concern about the consequences of his thoughtless action. Here, Adiga has pointed out the opposition between thought and action. The speaker urges man to some violent action, to crush, to nip, to pull down, to break and burn whatever comes handy. He asks his brother or companion to do something or anything. He must not be idle. So by saying this, that you can crush, you can nip, he is pointing to the destructive tendency of man today, where he is indulged in doing something or the other without thinking about the consequences. His view is that movement is life, dullness is death. He may burn the grass just as Lord Hanuman burnt Lanka. He asks him to catch hold of tiny butterflies, parrots and sparrows, and then pluck their wings, pull out their fur and feathers. He further points out that the jasmine flowers and bananas grows in the garden to be crushed under wild elephants' feet. Hence, man should destroy these also by trampling on them. So, he, in a way, the speaker in the poem is kind of exhorting man to indulge in all kinds of destructive activities. And he says man is violent and life-threatening by nature, and man has a restless desire or longing to pull down the master switches with his masculine fingers. So, he in a way is satirizing this tendency of man and asking not to do this, because this is going to be a great burden on Mother Earth, and he wants man to do something to lighten the burden of Mother Earth. He declares that all this is right, natural and necessary. So he has in this poem, the poem abruptly begins abruptly, in a very abrupt manner, as if he is perceiving his companion or the brother doing all sorts of undesirable destructive things. So the poem goes like this: do something, brother, keep doing something, anything, you must not be idle. So it begins by saying that movement of life is necessary. You must make movement in life. And he says there is no point sitting idly. Alas mein aap baithe raho, there is no point. Keep doing something or the other. But then in the next lines he is being ironical, he is being satirical when he says, pull out the plant, nip this little leaf, crush this flower, there is grass, run a burning brand through it, burn it like Lanka. Now he says, just the tone reverses, the tone immediately changes. In the first 3 lines he is talking about the movement of life, and then he becomes ironical, he becomes satirical. He says, when he is exhorting man, उसको उकसा रहा है कि जो है प्लांट को तोड़ दो, पत्ती को निप कर लो, है ना, पत्ती को तोड़ लो, crush that flower, or even burn the glass the way Lanka was burnt. So you all understand, you know this Lanka, how it was burnt. So immediately the tone changes, and he is reflecting at the same time satirizing on the tendency of modern man, which is not constructive, which is destructive. And he goes, tiny butterflies, parrots, sparrows, chase them, catch them, pluck their wings, pull out their fur and feather. And so again he is talking about the tendency of man to destroy nature. He is enumerating beautiful creatures. He's enumerating, he's giving you a list of beautiful creatures, the butterflies, the parrots, the sparrows. He says follow them, catch them, pluck their wings. So again, he is in a way expressing his indignation also, his anger also, कि जो है उनके पंख तोड़ दो, उनके ये कर दो, उनको फॉलो करो, उनको पकड़ लो, pull out their fur and feather. There in the garden, jasmine and the bananas gold grow for the wild elephant's feet. All over the walls, virility's master switches. This switch for your fingers, close your eyes and pull down 20 of them. So again, he says, now in the first stanza he is talking about the creatures of nature, and now he is talking about the flowers, beautiful flowers that grow in nature. And so he says, in the garden, jasmine and bananas, they are, the flowers, they are blooming. And he says, but they grow for the wild elephant's feet. A wild elephant feast, one who has no sensitivity, one who is one who is not civilized. So wild elephant, feet symbolizes a thoughtless action where you are mad or wild and you do something without giving a thought to it. जैसे होता है ना, एलिफेंट पागलों की, जंगली एलिफेंट होता है, वो गुस्से में होता है पागल और आपको चल देता है. तो ही इज एक्सप्रेसिंग दिस painful, he's pained to see that all these beautiful things grow in nature just to be trampled by strong people, like though they are physically strong like elephant, but they are thoughtless people. They don't know what will be the consequences of their action. So he says all over the walls, virility होती है physical, physical power. So he says all over the walls, virility's master switches for your fingers, close your eyes and pull down 20 of them. So he says you can do anything. Now actually वो हो रहा है. So he says all over the walls, virility's master switches each for your finger. So he says there are so many things in nature all over where each means to have keen desire or longing, where you are tempted to destroy, where you are tempted to harm those things. There are so many things scattered around, and he says and you can close your eyes. Closing eyes means giving no thought to your action, without thinking, doing something without thinking. So it says there are so many things where you can use your masculine strength, but he says, and you can close your eyes and pull down 20, you can destroy 20 of them. You can destroy 20. Pull down means to destroy anything. Earth, water, the skies, they are all your geese with golden eggs. Now geese with golden eggs, the reference is to the old fable that you all know, in which out of greed the goose is killed so that all the golden eggs can be taken at once rather than wait for it to lay one egg a daily. आपने पढ़ा इसको पढ़ा होगा ना, जिसमें कि जो सोने के अंडा देती थी वो, तो उसने लालच में क्या किया, उसको ही मार दिया, so that सारे के सारे अंडे एक साथ मिल जाएं. So he by quoting this fable, by making a reference to this fable, he is talking about the greedy nature of man. So he says gauze, to make a hole in something roughly or destructively. Gauze is to make a hole in something roughly or destructively. Slash is to cut. And he says earth, water, the skies, they are all your geese with golden eggs. You want to exploit them, extort from them, Man is so greedy. He wants to, exploit all the resources at once, resources of nature. And it is a human tendency to gouge them out, to make a hole, means to destroy them for your own benefit, or to cut them, or to. So how man, destroys nature? Because of his vested interest, because of his natural inclination, tendency to destroy things, and also for his own benefits. So he says, for your genius's galloping dance, man is considered to be the most genius one. Gallop is, आप एक जैसे वो घोड़ा होता है ना, एकदम से जो है कलाचे मारता है, तो दे लीप करता है. सो इट्स अ नेचुरल टेंडेंसी ऑफ मैन टू मेक गैलप्स, टू अचीव थिंग्स बाय यूजिंग शॉर्टकट्स, to go at a fast speed in order to fulfill his desires. So he says, for your genius's galloping dance, something must catch every minute. So this is the tendency of man. This is the he crash, he destroys something or the other, just in order to make a galloping dance, just in order to his tendency to achieve something immediately by using short options. Thoughts, weights and measures are all for the past, for the undying ghostly treasures of the dead. And he says, now modern man, what is he doing? He is doing all things thoughtlessly. And he says, modern man, the poet, mocks man's tendency to, modern man's no regard for the consequences of his unthinking actions. And he says that ये सारा का सारा वजन और measures कि what safety measures should be taken, what thoughts should go into process before doing a thing, वो सारे के सारे हमने modern man ने किस पे छोड़ दिए हैं? All for the past, for the unlying ghostly treasures of the dead. We have left all these safety measures, thoughts, reflections for our ancestors who are no more. तो अब हमने क्या किया है, वो जो हमारे डेड एंसेस्टर्स हैं, उनके जो घोस्टली ट्रेजर्स के लिए हमने सारा का सारी चीज़ें छोड़ दी हैं मॉडर्न मैन ने, और ख़ुद कैसा बन गया है, बिल्कुल डिस्ट्रक्टिव, सेल्फिश, ही इज़ थॉटलेस, एंड ऑल थॉट्स एंड वेट्स एंड मेजर्स ही इज़ लेफ्ट फॉर आवर एंसेस्टर्स, फॉर द हिस्ट्री टू बी all for the past. There is the forest, cut it clean to the stump, slit it for your burnings. So he is gradually taking all the things, all the of nature, gradually. First he talks about the creatures of the nature, then he talks about the flora and fauna of the of the nature. He's talking about the beautiful flowers and fruits that grow in the forest, in nature, or in gardens. And then he's talking now about the forest where man is going for incessant cutting of the trees. And he says, there is, nature has offered you in bounty. There are so many forests, creatures, plants, and so you have got, man is blessed enough to get so many things by nature. But this is very unfortunate that he is destroying the things of nature. He is destroying nature. So he says, there is the forest, cut it clean to the stump, slit it for your buntings. You have the axe, the sickle, the saw and the knife. Go harvest all the world with the flourish of your hand. So man is well equipped with weapons, whether it is the sickle or the axe or the saw. और द नाइफ, कुल्हाड़ी है उसके पास में, है ना, सिकल है और नाइफ है जिससे कि वो ट्रीज को, ही कैन कट ट्रीज ग्रोइंग इन द फॉरेस्ट टू द स्टम्प, उनको बिल्कुल नीचे तक काट देना, स्टम्प जब वो टूट बन, दे आर रिड्यूस टू स्टम्प्स. एंड ही सेज you have the capacity to harvest the entire world, to cut the entire world, to reap the entire world with a flourish of your hand. Now he is also talking about the weapons that have come into the modern age, the atom bombs and everything, where you can destroy in a minute the entire world. So he says, but you meet winter mist, walls of fog, walls that line the space between face and face, and the road that sighs and breaks in two under your eyes, a couple of mountain peaks that rear their hoods and lower upon your body, or lighting wings from sirens that sings in every tree. Do they plunge you into anxieties and dilemmas of in this stanza he is talking about the obstacles that will come in the way of doing these things. He says, there may be obstacles in the way like winter mist, walls of fog which divide the space, the two-way road and the mountain peaks that raise their heads. There may be hidden dangers from sirens hiding in trees, which may plunge the modern man into anxieties and put him into difficult double situations where he has to choose between two courses of action. However, he is not to be disheartened by all these barriers. After all, he is a simple man. He has practical knowledge and good judgment about ordinary life. This is his strength and strong point. He has to do all this destruction in spite of impediments. So again he is being ironical. He says while doing all these destructive things, man will face all the kinds of obstacle in his way. There will be winter mist. Winter means mist is something when you don't have a clear vision. So what to do and what to not to do, this is symbolic. And there will be many walls, many obstacles, he says, but he says man has practical knowledge and good judgment about ordinary life, so he will be able to win all these obstacles, all these impediments. And so now he says, no, this won't do. He says that sing in every tree, do they plunge you into anxieties and dilemmas of reason? Sometimes he says there are so many obstacles, and obstacles he enumerates in the way of by saying winter mist and lightning wings from sirens which might be hidden in the trees. But he says do they plunge you, do they put you into anxiety? He is asking a rhetorical question, and the answer is obvious. He says dilemma of reason when you are not able to decide what to do and what not to do, उसको बोलते हैं डिलेमा. संकट की जो स्थिति होती है डिलेमा की, when you are not able to decide. So he says no, this won't do, ये नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं होगा, because he says means these obstacles, man will win over these obstacles. क्यों? Because you are a simple man. Again he is being ironical, क्योंकि आदमी कैसा है? Simple है. That means he is not simple, he is very shrewd, he is very cunning. So this is again he is being ironical. Here he has used this figure of speech, irony. And so he says, and that is your strength. Horse sense and the blinkers are your fort. Fort is strength. And he says, he is talking about the strength of man, where he blinkers जो होते हैं वो घोड़े को इधर उधर देखने के रोकने के लिए या उसकी आंखों पर लगा देते हैं चमड़े के टुकड़े, उसको बोलते हैं ब्लिंकर्स. हॉर्स सेंस होता है, हॉर्स सेंस मीन्स वर्ल्डली विजडम. सो प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज, गुड जजमेंट. ब्लिंकर्स लगाने के बाद भी क्या होता है, जो है ही इज़ एबल टू run. He is, he walks even though there are blinkers which are fixed on a bridle to prevent a horse from seeing sideways. Fourth is strong point. Think that somebody does particularly well. So he says, in spite of all these obstacles, man will win over because he is not a simple man. Though he says you are a simple man, he is being ironical. और वो कह रहे हैं that is your strength. Hot sense है उसमें, practical wisdom है. And the blinkers means you are just watching, looking at your goal without looking sideways, just as the horse does. So you fix in your mind what you have to do and you just do it. So he says blinkers and all these obstacles cannot stop you from doing what you want. You means man. So I'll take up the remaining part of the poem in the next lecture.